Yeah, the sound just started echoing and then it cut out. That's interesting.
You're going to be in class, we will also send out a Zoom link. So if for any reason you can't get here, you can always jump on Zoom. And the class is being recorded so that you can always refer back. And it's going to be taught by amazing top producing agents. So today, you get Jennifer both days this week. So Jennifer Rush. Jennifer, I'm going to ask if you would just qualify yourself. Let them know a little bit about you and your business. You probably are going to do that in your beginning. But I want you to know that it's the top people that are doing this, creating lives worth living and creating a very, very good business for themselves. So,
Bring the heat this week.
Or,
Okay, so I have, before you go, I just want everyone to know, and I'll go back to my little hidey hole. We are recording. The Zoom for our face is unmuted, so that's how everyone online is seeing you. So there's 5 more people that may interact with you there.
And this doesn't have a waiting room, right?
Correct.
Log in,
Yep.
just get it.
Yep, so you are all good to go.
and just for those of you that don't know, this is Sherry Maxwell. She and I kind of we're the staff here, so to speak, and our goal is to help you with anything you need. If it has anything to do with anything that's complicated, she knows it all. Anyway, good luck, have fun, and let me know if you need anything. Okay? Thank you.
How do you guys feel about winging it?
So this is a class that got rewrote this year. Hi, I'm Jennifer. I've never taught this before. So we're all here. We're gonna smile at each other all morning. No, so they rewrote it. So I have taught the regular Ignite class, so they rewrote the class. So it's all the same content and new content, and we're just gonna roll. So I have been in real estate for what seems like forever. I've been in sales probably 20 years. But I joined Keller Williams as a residential real estate agent in August of 2016, August 1st. And I joined a team day 1. So there was a team in this office called Omni Property Groups. It was started by an agent who's now an assistant team leader down in Dallas named Megan Fife. And I joined her team and I hit the ground running as a buyer's agent. So day 1 in real estate, August 1st, 2016, got my first lead at 10 a.m., right? I mean, it was awesome. I tell you that story to tell you I actually just closed my very first lead from August 1st of 2016, 2 months ago during a pandemic. So what I am going to teach you about today is how to take these leads, these conversations, and roll with them for as long as it takes to get business out of it. I have a team now, so Megan moved, fast forward several years, moved down to Texas. I started my own team last year. It's called Rise Realty Group. And we are going to close about 80 units this year. My first year in real estate, I closed 47 transactions all by myself, off my team, all buyers. So no listings, guys. That first year was all buyers. I seriously think the wheels of my car may have fallen off when I put them back on. I was running around town so much. So I learned how the ins and outs of how to sell a house. And then I turned around and figured out how to do that same thing with listings. And I'm still figuring that out because the market shifts and changes so much. I just took a listing last night and put a picture of it online and asked what color we should paint the house. And I had like 8 agents ask me when it was going to hit the market. So we're in some strange times right now. So what we're going to talk a lot about is I want to get through this content as best we can because Keller Williams really gives you the best stuff. I mean, they have written the book on real estate. Have you guys read the Red Book yet? Millionaire Real Estate Agent? I have that sucker on Audible. I have it binded. I literally took my book to Office Max and was like, put this on spiral for me because that's how often I flip through it. It is not a book. It is really meant to be a tool. It's a tool for you. At any point in time, you need something in real estate and you're trying to figure it out, go to that book. It is in there, I promise you. people like me get to stand here and pretend like I'm smart because I'm just using Gary Keller's content, and that's the truth. And I also listen to his podcast, Think Like a CEO. Anytime I ever get lost in the woods in real estate, I literally turn that podcast on and I let him just tell me to get back to the model. So what we're gonna do today, and I wanna look on here, before we start, do you guys have any, this is, first of all, I'm so excited to have all you here because it's a really big
Excuse me.
class.
Hello.
Hi.
Can anybody hear me? Hi. I can't
Yeah.
see anything on the video. Are we supposed to be able to see you?
You know what? Probably not yet because I think they have the actual content as the screen.
Okay.
So unless to give you the content on the screen, I think you're only going to see the content on the screen, or we're going to have to toggle back and forth between the video and the content.
Okay.
I think. But like, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So
It just says that the video. It just says that your video is like turned off. So I didn't know.
Does it say Ignite Elementals Chapter 1?
I can see that, and I can see a little box on the corner. And usually with Zoom meetings, you're able to see the person who's talking while the screen is while you're sharing your screen.
Oh,
But
because it says screen share. Let me see if I can start my video and screen share at the same time. Can you see me now? Okay.
yes.
All right, there I am.
Hi.
Okay, so you can see me. Perfect. So I'm gonna try to do this as best. Maybe I can move this podium. Maybe we'll make this work. Okay. So everybody that's here, are you all licensed and joined the office? Are you newly licensed, getting licensed in class?
I just passed my class test.
Yay! This is awesome.
Thank you, Peggy.
You're working with Peggy? She's the bomb.com. I wish I had done real
Yeah.
estate school with Peggy. Let me
Sure.
figure out how because we should be able to do the PowerPoint up here. Technical difficulties. All right, I'll grab Sherry and see if they have the PowerPoint later. Hold on 1 second. So you guys are all relatively new, right? Yes. Okay. So let's do a quick test. Do you guys have your packets on the video participating on Zoom? All of my Zoom participants, do you have this content in front of you?
Yes, I have
Okay,
it.
cool.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so I have what's called an instructor's packet. Hey, do we have the PowerPoint up for this? Okay, it's okay. Okay, if she has it, we can go through it on the screen. So I have mine I think looks like yours, but what does your page 1 look like? I'm just gonna make sure I'm on the same. Do you have I'm just trying to, see this is my page 3. I'm just trying to figure out mine.
I think, is he gone? I don't know.
Stephanie,
Jennifer,
you should be able to find it.
Okay.
Jennifer,
Yeah.
Stephanie gave these binders to us Sunday, and I know a couple people didn't get them, so she might have an extra one that matches ours in her office.
Well, and that's what I was gonna try to do is get the PowerPoint on here. So if you don't have the content, you can at least.
This is the one I have.
Yes,
Gotcha.
that's right. Yeah. I was just making sure that if everyone didn't have the materials, they could at least see the PowerPoint.
I gotcha, yep.
Yeah. And the paperwork, Sherry says the paperwork is at the office. So, okay. Well, we're gonna get started, and I'm going to, I thought that the PowerPoint would already be up, but it's not. So let me see if I can find a way to get that up without you having to actually see my email. That's the question. By that, if there's 27,000 emails unread in there, that's true. Okay, with your permission, you guys tell me if this is okay. I'm gonna talk a lot about what I've been through and some of my experience. Is that all right? instead of just read out of the book? Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of both. So you should have an image that looks a little bit like this. Do you guys see that image? Do you guys have this? Mine says page 3, but I don't know that that's accurate with yours, which is really confusing. So I apologize for that.
Can you lower it? I can't tell what it is. It
Image
says,
that looks like this.
Is
It's just,
like-
it says connect prospecting to LinkedIn. And then it says dive deep prospecting methods, take action and develop.
Yeah, that's when
I don't think we have the same thing.
I have,
Mine says
first-
element 1 prospecting and you guys have Ignite. So I honestly don't even think I have the right stuff.
mine, but I do have that, my 5 is like the first real page I have, and it says dive deep prospecting
Does
methods.
yours say Ignite or Elemental?
It says elementals.
Mine says Ignite.
Well, we're just gonna roll with this.
It's okay. Let's just go with it.
Day 1 in virtual learning. Just so we're all clear, there's mothers at home that are doing worse than we are right now.
I'm one of them. I hear my first grader screaming from the other room, put yourself on mute.
Oh, because this isn't my email. Well, we'll log this person out. Exit. Well, bear with me, guys. So let's talk a little bit about why did you guys decide to get a real estate license? What? Oh, here's Right Way Realty. So we're gonna log out of here. Let's just log everybody out. Why did you get in real estate?
It's a path to a bigger life.
Money.
Why can I not switch this? Signed out, manage. Maybe I can do it this way. No, I'm not Peggy. Where's my logout? Sign in again. Nope. This is really frustrating, so I apologize. Do I need to log into mine?
She emailed you, so to get the slide.
Right.
You gotta pull it out of your email.
I was under the impression that it would be up, so now I'm gonna pull my email up for everybody to see. This is also Peggy's email. And I went to switch it out to log it out, and it's just saying manage it. Can I not log it out? Here, let's see. See, it's got everybody's account. Crystal, Keller Williams, Stephanie. Oh, we just go all the way down to the bottom. Okay. Well, this is a little bit like getting naked in front of strangers, but we'll do it. Nobody judge my inbox. I don't even know my password because I don't ever do this. Isn't that funny? That's not right either. Who wants to call Christina and ask her what my Gmail password is? I figured it out. The value of she sent me chapter 2 for Thursday. Let's see if this is the right one. Prospecting, perfect. Here we go. We made it.
Binder right behind you if you want to see what it is.
Okay, because mine's not matching up with theirs. So we'll find out. So Christina is my assistant. Have you guys ever met? I guess Beth, you know Christina. So Christina is the lifeblood. She's literally the only reason I'm a real estate agent. Because without her, I would be lost in life, much like logging into my Gmail. Okay, so you guys can see this screen now, right? Okay, perfect. So this should mean that we're all on the same page. And you have this screen that says what we'll focus on today. That is actually in your material, correct? I just want to make sure that the Zoom people are seeing what you guys are seeing in your book.
Ignite Elemental Chapter 1.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. Okay. Well, we're going to roll with what's on the screen because it's what our Zoom people can see. So to try to keep, because you guys can see it and they can see it. So this is what we're going to talk about. So that's going to get us all on the same page. And if you have any blank space that you want to take notes in, I will give you as much as I can today. I'm going to share all the secrets. So again, I'm so sorry. Why are we in real estate? Why are we real estate agents? Because it's super fun.
It seems exciting.
It's exciting.
And it's something new.
Yeah.
Something that you can really make
Sure.
money with.
Right.
As long as you
I need a flexible schedule and some money.
Flexible schedule, right? Okay. Those are, I think, here's the thing about real estate. Those are all true statements, but why are we really in real estate?
Well, I want to make a lot of money.
I don't like to have a ceiling.
To help people buy and sell homes.
Sure. But why are we really in real estate? It's money, right?
Yeah, that's the
I mean,
first thing.
for real.
say that, but then I.
Just
No,
say it out loud, yeah. Because I want to make a lot of money, duh, right? Like, hello. You know, I mean, if you're gonna take time away from your family, you guys are all here today. You put yourself through real estate school. You took a test, you paid for it. You have a license. You know what I'm saying? Why do people choose real estate? Because it's an appreciation asset. It doesn't depreciate; it appreciates. Correct? What else? You can be self-employed. You're a business owner. You can do it your own way. You have complete permission from me right now, moving forward, to say that you want to get rich.
Thank you.
100, I want to make a lot of, this is on Zoom, blank money, right?
Money.
Yeah, so I'm not going to swear today. I'm going to make a lot of money. All of you want to make a lot of money, right? If you didn't want to make a lot of money, you'd have a 9 to 5, correct? You'd make $10 an hour, you'd wear jeans on Friday, you'd have potluck months, right? You would do the things that everybody does. You get a paycheck every 2 weeks.
You just described my life.
And you'd hope for what? A 2% raise at the end of the year, if that, right? But you're not that. You're in real estate. So what does that mean for you? What are your big dreams and goals? You know what I'm saying? Who wants to be a millionaire in this room? If you're not raising your hand, you're lying to yourself. And yeah. So that's why there's a book called Millionaire Real Estate Agent. It's not $200,000 a year real estate agent, right? Like maybe $1.25 real estate agent. Who wants to be that real estate agent? Do you know how much volume you have to sell in real estate to net $1 million? Gary Keller tells us in the MREA. It's a lot. It's pretty cool. I think it's like, I actually honestly don't even know. I think it's like, what's that? I think it's about 35. What do you have to sell in volume to net $1 million? That's really actually might be more than that. Yeah. So it's $750,000 cost of sales and a $750,000 expense budget. Apparently I need to go back to the book too. But here's the thing, my whole point to this is none of what we're gonna learn today about prospecting matters at all if you're not attached to a really big freaking goal. You are not gonna get out of bed every day and go talk to a bunch of strangers to get 19 no's in your face to get 1 yes. You're literally signing up to get out of bed, take a shower, hopefully, leave the house, to go ask 20 people if they know anyone who needs to buy or sell or invest in real estate. And 19 of those people are gonna tell you no. And likely, several of those people are actually gonna be rude about it, right? That's the job. That's the JOB of real estate. But so here's what I'm saying. If you are okay with not a lot of money, you're probably not gonna get out of bed to do it. Because it's very hard and you're not gonna make much and you're gonna feel bad about yourself and it's gonna suck. But this is a prospecting course. So what that means is here's the good news. It's 100% up to you. 100%. I know if I go talk to 20 people, I'm gonna get 1 yes. And do you wanna know what 1 yes means for me? $5 grand. If I can get one person in this room to say, yes, Jennifer Rush, I will do business with you, that person just paid me $5,000. Now, I may not see that $5,000 for 4 years during a pandemic, but I close on their house 4 years later, right? I already told you my first lead in real estate ever, I closed it this year, right? So listen, like but that person, that very first phone call I had was literally at Mazzio's making a salad. And Megan's like, do you want to lead? And I was like, sure, it's my first day. And I called the man, and his name is Larry Pate. He's very lovely. He was kind to me on the phone. And then I called him, and I called him, and I called him, and I called him, and I called him probably, I don't know, how many times do you think I called him in 4 years? I would guess 20, 25 times I probably called this man in the 4 years, at least. So what I'm saying is that is prospecting. Prospecting is you going out and putting your boots on every day and signing up to do whatever it takes until you get one yes. And then you make $5 grand that day. Does that make sense? That's what we're really talking about when we talk about prospecting. So on this screen, it says grow your business, run your business. And those are two different things. So in the red book, there's a triangle and it says leads, listings, leverage. And the very first foundational piece that you have in real estate is leads. So what's a lead? A person. A lead is a person.
I lead to a selling.
So a lead is a person, because who buys houses? People, right? Buyers and sellers. So do you think leads are hard to come by?
They're so-so.
Are they hard to come by?
Probably not.
No.
Follow throughs more difficult.
Okay. So how many people in this room? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 people in this room. There's, I think, 5 people on Zoom. Raise your hand if you ever plan to buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 30 years.
I'm raising
That's
my hand.
every single person in this room, right? So your
Raise your hand.
job, yeah, any person that you meet walking with a pulse right now is someone who has the American dream of buying or selling a house. Seriously, there may be a serial renter out there, okay, so maybe 1 in 10, right? Maybe never gonna do it. But there are 9 people out of 10 people who are gonna do business. And now your goal is to figure out how do you create a relationship with those people so that they like you, they trust you, they think you're knowledgeable, and they are going to give you their money, right? They're gonna work with you, they're gonna hire you. You've got to figure out who you're going to be for that person, the systems, the processes that you're going to follow, the things that you're going to do, who you are for that person. When they need to buy or sell a house, they're going to call you first. That's prospecting. So this says grow your business, lead generate for buyers and sellers. That's in red. Let's see what's next on this screen, because this is the first time I'm seeing this screen as well. Connect prospecting to lead gen. Gotcha. Deep dive into prospecting, take action, and develop your plan. Recap. Okay. So the lead generation model at the top, this is relatively new. They actually came up with this in the last, I think, year or so. And we used to call people met and unmet. So if you read the MREA, you will hear terminology that says met and unmet. And it's exactly what you think it is. It's people that you've never met before and people that you've met. In this model, they're saying you have a funnel and there's prospecting and marketing at the top. When you capture people, they go into this funnel, which is your database. So step 1 with prospecting is to have a database. Who has a database right now? Everybody does. It's right here. If you have a Facebook account, an Instagram, a Twitter, a Snapchat, or a phone, you have a database. So everybody pull your phone out. This is a fun trick, it never gets old. Go to your contacts. I have an iPhone, so on the right-hand side, it has all my letters. At the very bottom, it has a number. Click that little number. Well, I guess it's a hashtag in today's terminology. It's a hashtag. Go to the bottom. How many contacts do you have? 422. How many do you guys have? Just throw it out there. How many? 675.
750.
750. I have 2,608.
26.
So you have a database. Now, How often do you think I've talked to these 2,600 people in the last 12 months? So are these 2,600 people going to call me to do business? Probably not, right? So your job for prospecting is to figure out how to stay in contact with as many people as you can to deepen relationships to do business with those people. This is simple. We have an entire chapter on it, guys, but that's the concept. So who's scared to make calls? Who's scared to reach out? Fear is a very real thing. Every day, okay, I've been with this company for 4 years, and every day when I go to pick my phone up, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. You're not going to want to do it. You're never going to be like, you know what I can't wait for? Someone to be rude to me, someone to tell me no. I can't wait to answer the phone and try to explain myself today. I can't wait to just feel really silly. I mean, those are all the things that go through our head, right? And I'm telling you, I feel this way every time I make calls. It's okay. I'm letting you know right now, you are no different than any agent in this entire office. Because every agent in this office, if they had zero fear, would all have hit $1 million, right? We would already all be millionaires. We would already done it. That's all we would do all day long for 8 hours is make phone calls. But fear is a very real thing when it comes to being your own business and asking somebody to trust you if you're unsure of yourself. And I just want you to know that that's okay. I think that's something we don't talk about enough. It's okay to feel that way. And then here's the kicker. This is the difference between success and failure is what you do after. You're going to feel it when you're going to go prospecting and lead genning. I just taught this fire class on this last week, by the way. It was good. Was it good? It was good. Yeah. So you're going to feel that way. And then after you feel that way, you're going to just pick the phone up anyhow. And you're going to call. And your first call is probably going to sound like trash. And that's okay too. Call somebody you like, who loves you. Call your mom. What if your very first phone call of every lead generation session was to your mother? Hey mom, I'm just calling to see if you want to buy and sell an invest. I told you no yesterday, I'm going to tell you no again today. And you just got it out, and then you just started calling people you don't know. Right? Would that work? I'm going to try that. That was a key point. Okay, so here's what the fundamentals are. We already know what prospecting is. We already know you're going to do it. We already had that conversation. So every single one person in this room is going to prospect and call people and ask them if you can stay in touch with them forever to be their real estate agent for life. And then you're going to put them in your database. So what does that mean? You need what pieces of information? Name, phone number, email. What else?
They're emailing or texting Stephanie saying the screen is stuck.
Oh, I might not be moving. Okay, so apparently what's up here is not in their book. We figured that out.
Oh, okay.
So we're just going off of what's here.
Okay.
Because also this doesn't match either.
Okay.
So we're just doing off the screen and I'm just talking.
Okay.
That's what's happening. Sorry.
Can you see a funnel?
The lead gen model. We're just talking about capturing leads and connecting with people and making them contacts and putting them in your database. That's really where we're at.
Jake, is that what you see?
No, all I see is Ignite Elementals Chapter 1. And I noticed in the chat, somebody else said that's all they're seeing too.
So is it not screen sharing this? My email is only screen sharing.
I see you and Ignite Elemental Chapter 1.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Now, there it is.
Okay. Oh, see, and I don't even have the chat box up, so I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any of your chat box, you guys. You're just gonna have to holler at me. You're just gonna have to yell. Sorry. Uh-oh, what just happened? Did it again. This is not good. Where did I go? What did I just do? Where did I go? Where did I put that? Just kidding, guys. This is so not good. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So you're
This-
seeing, okay, so you guys can see this where it says the lead generation model, prospect, capture, lead, contacts, cultivate.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we figured out what a lead is. A lead is anybody with a pulse. Your job is to get to know them and ask them to do business with you, which we'll talk about scripts at the end. And then you are then to get all their information, their phone number, their email, their address, right? Any information that you can get. I love social media. Who loves social media? Right? Isn't it the easiest thing that was ever invented for lead generation?
Yes.
Yes, social media was a gift from the real estate gods. It was like, here you go. Here's all these people on the internet for you to now get to go know. You're not limited to your community anymore. Because guess what Keller Williams has? 180,000 agents worldwide. Do you think that you might be able to send some referrals to people all over the globe? Referral money is the best money because you say, hey, Beth, my mom in Illinois needs to buy a house, and I was wondering if you might help her. And Beth says, of course. And Beth sends me a check, a referral check for 25% of that transaction, and all I did was make the intro. Might you have an entire business just on that? Heck yeah, I have 180,000 Keller Williams agents. It's cool. Okay, social media is huge. I would suggest outside of their phone number and that voice-to-face conversation, the belly-to-belly is always the most powerful. Outside of that, people get to know you via the internet now. It's a real thing. They go find you online, they stalk you, they read your reviews, they look at pictures of your kids. They decide based on your social media profile if they like you. This is real. Allow people to get to know you as an agent and as a person online, and they will be more apt to hire you prior to going to their house. Because here's the deal. If you're gonna go, let's say you have to go to the doctor and you get to pick your doctor, what are you doing? Prior to calling around, like how would you pick your new doctor?
Reviews.
Reviews, right? Everybody reads reviews. I just picked a mechanic based on 5-star reviews off of Google. Right? Everybody does that. You've got to get reviews out there. Okay, so you never sold a house before. How do you get reviews?
Friends.
Friends. Have you ever had a job ever in the history of time as somebody worked with you? Could you, this is brilliant, could you pick your phone up, your database, and start calling people that you used to work with? Old coworkers, that's it. Your only goal for that lead gen session is, have we ever worked together before? And you pick the phone up and you say, hey Tina, it's Jennifer. You know, I just started in real estate. Remember when we used to work together at Starbucks back 5 years ago, and we had so much fun and it was awesome and blah, blah, blah. And she's gonna be like, oh yeah, Jennifer, you're the best. And I'm gonna be like, hey, I just started in real estate. If I send you a link, could you write me a review of what it's like to work with me?
Oh, that's a great idea.
What it's like to work with me. That's it. Could you do that? Right?
Yeah.
Beth said that there's something in here. Oh, cool. I'm just going off of what everyone, yeah, I'm sorry, because my page numbers don't match up, so I don't know how to navigate this appropriately. So, okay. So here's what you need to do. So prospecting, and I know you guys actually do have this, and I'll pull that out because Sherry did give it to me. On page 4 of your actual materials, outside of just this PowerPoint, where it says prospecting methods, it says prospecting both and marketing. Take your pen really fast and read through the prospecting side, and then read through the marketing side, and circle 5, roughly 5 in each column that appeals to you. What is something that you might do or use to market yourself, your business, and or go find people to put in your database? pick out roughly 5 things on the, and for those of you guys on Zoom, this is page 4. There's prospecting, both, and marketing. We'll talk about both in just a second, but just look at your prospecting side and look at your marketing side and pick out, just circle 5 things that when you read them, it sounds like a source of business that you would go after, or it sounds like a marketing technique that you would use. So for instance, I think one of the things on here says radio. I'm not likely to go get a radio ad, so that does not appeal to me. However, there is a, on the online advertising, all of those things are up in my wheelhouse. So you just pick what you think appeals to you, and just pick 5. Don't pick more than 5 because it's going to get convoluted.
Hey, Jennifer,
Yeah.
back to the reviews real quick. What do you feel is the most valid place for people to give you a review?
So I would use Facebook and Google. I would use Facebook, especially if it was just people I know. If I was going to say, hey mom, could you write me a review about how wonderful I am? I'd probably have her do it on Facebook. If I did business with someone, I would probably send them to Zillow or realtor.com because we did a real estate transaction together, and that's a real estate website. And if I worked with somebody who could say something nice about my work ethic, my habits of always being on time and being super put together and using technology really well, today would be a perfect example of that. I would probably have them do that on Google. And I would also coach them, Stacy. You want to know what I really do? I would likely write up a generic review. I would say, hey Ryan, it's Jennifer. You know, remember when we used to work together and we had so much fun? Just play with it real quick. Say, hey, I am really launching my new business, and I really want people to be able to find me online. If I sent you a text or an email real quick with an example of the kind of reviews I'm looking for, if you think that that's something you'd have time to do for me, would you read it and then write one for me online? How many people are going to copy and paste? Did you just make their life a lot easier and get all the keywords in there that you want? So when people Google real estate agent, Norman, Oklahoma, Oklahoma City, whatever, I'm probably putting all those keywords in that review that I can and saying, here's a quick example of the kind of review that I really want to obtain if this is something that you could write for me. If you don't feel comfortable, please don't. But if you do feel comfortable and you want to copy and paste this, edit it, whatever you want to do and get something online for me, I'd really appreciate it. And actually, I'd love to buy you a coffee as a thank you. Do you want to meet for coffee next week? Is there anything with the market you're curious about? When do you think you might need to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? So now that conversation just went from, do you have a minute to send me a review? Here's an example of what people write or what I'm looking for. Could you do that? And then what did you do about asking them for coffee next week?
Set an appointment.
Yeah, who wants to show up to coffee and didn't do the thing that you asked them to? Right? You feel that little bit of pressure to perform? I'll buy you a coffee as a thank you next Thursday at 9. Does that work? What day works for you to have coffee? So now that person isn't going to show up to a thank you coffee without doing the thing that you asked them to do. And also, by the way, you said, when's the next time you might need to buy a house, sell a house, or invest in a house? What are you thinking for your future? Let me check the market so when we sit down and have coffee, I'll let you know what the trend is for the last year. How cool is that phone call? Yeah, that's a pretty cool phone call. So these are the new prospecting techniques that I probably are not, you know, those are anyway, my secret weapons. Okay, so what are some things that you guys picked? Shout it out. On the prospecting side, what are some things that you guys picked? We've got door to door. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Belly to belly, face to face is always the most powerful. Always, 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 always. Energy is a real thing. What else? So door to door, face to face, right?
Relationship based.
Relationship based, yeah.
Volunteer work.
Volunteer work, cool. So what happens when, and hold on one second, because I'm gonna check the next page. Perfect. So we know what our activities might look like. What did you pick for marketing? We just talked a lot about marketing. Reviews or marketing?
Social media.
Yeah, social media, totally, right? When was the last time you guys looked at the side of a bus and made a phone call off of someone's computer? When was the last time you passed by a park bench or a bus? Right? When was the last time you like saw a bench and you're like, oh my God, Beth Harrison, I'm calling. That's the one. That's my realtor. Stop the car. I'm calling that person on that bench. But what does it do though? What does it do? Your face and your name. Your face and your name. Your face and your name. But how much does a billboard cost? $18,000 for the year. How much is social media? Free, right? And Facebook ads, like we run ads like crazy. So, I mean, we spend money every week on ads. But might the same amount of people see my face online? Yeah. So, okay. So do you know, you need to know what are your activities? That's prospecting. Prospecting is activities, and what is your marketing? Marketing is your face and your name, and where's it gonna go? That's it. Those are the two different things. So once you've got your activities, you know what you're doing. If you turn your page into your materials, because I did figure out I do have those materials, on page 5, it says approach, act, ask, advance. So we can use this review example because it does so many things for you. It starts to get you online. It starts to market for you. Could you then also, once your reviews start to show up and people are writing reviews about you, what could you do with those?
Put them in your listing packet.
Put them in your listing packet, but you could also put it on social media.
Yes.
Right? Create yourself your own little ad. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. Tina wrote me a review today. She's the best. Heart face, tag her, and all of her friends can see it too. And all the things that she says. Can't wait to see you for coffee next week, Tina. You're the best. Right? Toot your own horn a little bit on those reviews. You didn't write it. Copy and pasted it. That's okay. Right? So here's the thing, like you've got to put things in front of people, ask them to do stuff for you, and then use that content. It's all about content. Use that content to your advantage to market for you. But you have to be doing the thing. The prospecting is the phone call. The prospecting is the sit down for coffee. The prospecting is figuring out how to help somebody with real estate. The stuff that you're posting and showing the world is the marketing. So on page 5 where it says approach, know your script. And then it says act, ask, advance. That's it. You know your approach. You know who you're calling. You know what you're going to do. You know what you're asking for. And you know what you're going to do with it after you get it right. So that is really the act of prospecting and asking. So prospecting is not saying, hey, I know we haven't talked in a long time and I just wanted to see if we could have coffee and I'll see you next week. Right? What do you have to do when you're prospecting? What do you have to have in these conversations? Right? You have to ask. You have to have an ask in every single phone call you make ever. If you want to get to the $1 Million Club, you have to ask. Ask for everything that you want. You have to know what you want. You have to know what your goal intended is. So if you don't know what your goal intended is, you're going to have really lame calls. You're going to have really spotty, not very serious, very weird calls. Hey, just checking in. Haven't talked to you in 6 years. Bye. Right? That's what it's gonna be really awkward. So, but if you know what your intention is, hey, I was calling because insert activity I'm gonna ask you to do, right? It's a lot easier to make that phone call. Hey, I was calling because I was hoping that you might write me a review. Hey, I was calling because I don't know what neighborhood you live in. And I realized since I'm in real estate now, I'm not even sure how many neighborhoods in the area I have friends in. What neighborhood do you live in? What if you took a 2-hour lead gen session and all you did was call people that you don't know where they live, but you know them well enough to make a phone call? What neighborhood do you live in? Also in command, you can assign neighborhoods to people. So you have to know when you're gonna do your Legion session, who are you calling? What's your target audience? What's the goal for that day? And if you know what your goal is, your script is gonna come way easier for you because you're gonna know exactly what you're asking and you know exactly what the outcome is. So we just crafted a little bit of a script. Hey, I was calling because I know you really well, but I don't know what neighborhood you live in. What neighborhood do you live in, right? What do you love about your neighborhood? I'm gonna take some notes. Obviously, I'm in real estate now, so when I start carting buyers around and showing them property, and I know you live in this neighborhood, I actually have an insider viewpoint. What are all the best things about living in Trailwoods? What do you love about it? Well, if I was gonna show my buyers houses in your neighborhood, what should I tell them about it? Okay, so now, okay, perfect. So what do you need to do next? How long have you
Ask
lived?
them what's their perfect neighborhood.
How long have you lived there? What prompted you to buy here? When might you move next? What do you want in your next house? Where would you want to go? When might you want to make that move? Does this make sense, guys? This is your job moving forward until the end of time. I might call my mom and say, Mom, what do you love about your neighborhood? We could literally call my mom. That would be so much fun. Mom, and she's Northern, so she'd be like, hi, honey, what are you doing? I'm sewing in my sewing room today. And I'd be like, when might you move again? And she'd be like, oh, they're going to carry my dead body out of this house. Not true. I'm going to have to move her out and probably in with me. So what do I need now? If I just said that out loud, because here's where you just have to like really tune your ears. I'm going to have to probably move my mom out of her house and in with me. What does that mean for me? I need a she shed. I need a mom pad out back, right? Oh, really? So when you move your mom in with you, are you going to put her in the bedroom next to yours? Or no, we're going to have to get a bigger house. Wow, okay. So when might you want to do that? You're getting to know people, but why do you think you need to move your mom in? You know? So you guys, this is all twofold. This is not about you being some skis out there who's like, I just want to sell you houses. It's, oh my gosh, what's up with your mom? You know, she lives, you guys already know so much about me. She quilts, she lives in Illinois, she makes masks right now. She's like making a killing, making masks. She's got her own little entrepreneurial business. But like seriously though, like you could get to know somebody pretty well and having that conversation around where they live, when they need to move, and what family members are in their life that also might need to move. Because when my mother in Illinois needs to move in with her daughter in Oklahoma, what needs to happen in Illinois? A Keller Williams agent in Rockford, Illinois is going to have a listing. And what's Jennifer going to have? A referral check. Right? You guys see the business is attached to relationships and relationships attached to business. Is this clicking? Is this making sense? Isn't this so much better than these graphs? Okay. It does say on page 6, maximize and grow your agent network. So maybe a Legion session, maybe Fridays. Where do you guys have a lot of friends or family in other cities? Okay, so maybe this Friday at 9 a.m. seek out all the Denver agents. Because you want more than one, don't you? How many good Keller Williams agents are in the Denver area that I need to know? Because I have friends in Denver. So they don't necessarily have to, however, I enjoy a good Keller Williams agent because I know how they're gonna work and we use all the same systems. That's just me. And there's a ton in Denver that are with KW that are good. So, but maybe my Legion session on Friday, I wanna know at least 5 really great agents in the Denver area because I have a ton of friends in Denver. And then I'm gonna get to know these people. Okay, so here's a quick, if you're gonna go seek out real estate agents in the Denver area, how do you do it? Show me different ways. Yep.
Social media.
The Kelly app, the Keller Williams Kelly app. If you haven't downloaded on your phone, you can, and you can put in, Keller Williams, agent Denver. You could Google it. But after you start Googling these people and after you start getting their names, what are you doing? Reviews. What are you doing then? You're finding them on social media. What are you doing? Friending them. You're looking at their pictures, you're reading their stuff, you're gonna decide if you like them, you're gonna look at their stats, you're gonna look at, isn't this what we all do, right? So now you're your friend on social media and you like this person and then you pick them. Isn't the phone call like the last thing we do now? Don't we do all the stalking and then we call? Isn't that crazy? Okay, so then you're gonna make the phone call and you're gonna be like, hi, Mr. and Mrs. Denver agent. My name's Beth. I'm from Norman, Oklahoma. I have a ton of friends in the area. And I wanted to get to know you better because I want to be able to send my referrals to you and I want to make sure they're taken care of. I want you to know who I am. I want you to have my information. I want to have a relationship with you. Because now what does that mean? They're going to send you referrals, right? So it is super duper important that you have people, have agents in the areas that you have a lot of friends and family at too, outside of here, because we're a global network. Okay, let's keep going, and we're going to skip ahead probably because we did talk a lot about before, during, and after. Okay, so when you guys are going to sit down to do this prospecting, and I said it before, but I really want to hammer this home, know who you're going to call, know what you're going to say, know in advance what the ask is. What are you asking them to do? They need to do something. What is the ask? Maybe the ask is, who do you know who needs a good real estate agent right now? Maybe that's the only ask. Maybe you're asking them to coffee. Maybe you're asking them to lunch. Maybe you're asking them, right? But you're asking. You have every call that you're prospecting, get in the habit of the ask and know what your ask is going to be. And it's going to be a million times easier to make those calls because you're focused and you know what you want. And then end every single phone call with, hey, well, I have you on the phone. When's the next time you're going to move? Or who do you know who needs a great agent? Because you need to know when people need to move. And it's not weird for you to ask because you're in the business of moving. When's the next time you need to move? What do you love about your neighborhood? What does your next neighborhood need to have? What does your next property need to have? I want to be on the lookout for you. When might you want to do this? You guys are all thinking in your head right now when you want to move next. Everybody knows. We all know. So you need to track that with people. And you need to know what their dreams are. And then you need to know who they know who needs a good agent. So, okay. So I'm sorry, guys, that this is probably a little bit spotty. Do you guys have questions on Zoom? I'm like seeing Stacy's hand before I.
Oh, I didn't know my video was on.
Do you guys have, Jake, do you have any questions? Are we good here?
I'm good. I'm following along.
Cool.
I'm great.
Cool,
Thank
cool,
you.
Cool.
I feel like I'm learning so much.
What's that?
I feel like I'm learning so much from you. You're awesome.
Okay, awesome. Good. So I do want to go down because we need to talk a little bit more about marketing. So Gary Keller says that we should be, to make the most of money possible, we need to be prospecting based and marketing enhanced. So on this, remember that little column sign and a billboard's $18,000 a year? We could go out and spend all of our money on marketing and never do prospecting, right? Could we do that? Sure. If I had $100,000 in the bank and I could just go out and just buy billboards and buses and benches and ads, right? Commercials, radio. If I wanted to do it, I could go do that, right? Of course I could.
What's the happy medium?
Exactly. That's exactly. Because what am I going to do? I'm going to spend all my money in what? What am I doing every day? I'm sitting around waiting for my phone to ring. And then when the phone rings, what am I doing? Helping that business. Okay, you know what that sounds like? It sounds a lot like Zillow. They put all of our listings on their website, and then they have other agents who pay them money every time Zillow gets a click or a call the agent or show the house or I want to see it or I'm interested. Zillow captures that information. And then they sell it to other real estate agents. So all your blood, sweat, and tears in that listing, when it goes on Zillow, Zillow just sold that lead to somebody else. You guys get that, right? So what you need to do is you need to magnetize yourself. People need to come to you. They don't need to go, they can look on Zillow. Everybody looks on Zillow. You can't stop Zillow at this point. It's like Kleenex, right? It's a facial tissue, but we don't call facial tissues, we call them Kleenex. When people think of real estate, they're like, I was on Zillow. And that's like crushing glass to your ear. So you have to start training people to come to you. Why were you on Zillow? It's super inaccurate. Oof, call me. Maybe one of your lead gen sessions is. please don't use Zillow. Call me first. But this is the message, right? So people have to come find you. So the marketing, this is where we're going there, Ryan, I promise. The marketing is important because they need to come find you, but there's 6,000 real estate agents in the Oklahoma City metro area. So what sets you apart from everybody else? Just because you have a better ad, you have a better way of doing business. Why should they believe you? Why would they believe you? Why would you stand out? The people who do business with you are the people who know you and you feel like you care about them. They're the people that think you care about them. Is the people who are going to call you, not the people who saw your billboard. They're going to see your billboard and be like, Ryan Burrows, I know the name, he's a cool cat. But are they going to call you to sell their house? Maybe, maybe not, who knows? But if you call them, might they? That's the difference between marketing is like, it reinstills who you are as a person and it shows your track record without you having to say it out loud. But prospecting is the relationship. Prospecting is the call, it's the belly to belly, it's the face to face, it's the I care enough about you to call you and have coffee with you, right? The prospecting, oh, and by the way, it's free. I mean, in theory, you're gonna pay your phone bill anyway. You're gonna go on Facebook anyway. So the prospecting is the free. So when it comes to profit, prospecting equals profit. If you don't remember anything else about today other than put your fear to the side, make the phone call anyway, it's prospecting is the profit. You cannot buy your way into profit. You cannot do it. It's like going into Target. You can't leave only spending $5. It's just the vortex of $200 bills. I don't know. But what I'm saying is you cannot buy your way into profit. It is literally an oxymoron. So you're going to have to prospect your way into profit. And that is the phone calls. That's the getting in front of people. That's the giving a care about them. That's going to the Norwex cleaning parties and the Scentsy parties and the Tupperware parties and the Pampered Chef parties. And isn't the new thing like yoga pants parties? Like it's going to all the stuff, buying all the items, gifting it to other people, and in the entire time saying, well, I'm a real estate agent, so I drive a lot. Or I'm a real estate agent, so I meet a lot of people. I'm a real estate agent. I love this neighborhood. I'm a real estate agent. Where do you live? I'm a real estate agent in Walmart buying milk because I'm a real estate agent, right? This is the prospecting. Everybody needs to know you're growing wealth through real estate. You're growing wealth through real estate. My name tag says Wealth Builder. I help people grow wealth. Do you want to be wealthy? Right? The average homeowner has 3 times net worth than a renter. 3 times net worth. It's like $250,000 is the average net worth of a homeowner, and a renter's net worth is like $18,000. Maybe it's more than that, but it's really low. Because the 200 and something is way better than the other. Their stat is online someplace. NAR has it. So here's the deal. Everybody who's renting right now doesn't want to rent, they want to go buy. But unless you are calling them and saying, hey, by the way, you know, I'm launching my new career in real estate. I'm actually a real estate agent now, helping people buy and sell homes. By the way, are you renting or do you own? I rent. Oh, wow, great. So you're paying your landlord's mortgage. How do we put more money in your pocket? When do you need to move? When's the lease up? When's it up? When's it up? So these are the conversations. Now, this is how I use Zillow, reviews only. So when you get these reviews, that's a marketing piece for Zillow. When you get the reviews, that's a marketing piece for Google. When you get the reviews, that's a marketing piece for Facebook. Also, how many of you are friends with real estate agents on Facebook? Right? And everybody does what? Posts their houses that they've sold, under contract, just sold, blah, 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 right? We do this too. So there's a couple different ways to do it. Choose wisely. So it's written on my arm. I literally have a tattoo that says choose wisely, and that's to stop myself from saying stupid stuff and doing stupid stuff. However, choose wisely on marketing, because right now, every single real estate agent is very close name. This is the best Zoom ever, Christina. This is awesome. She's literally doing someone's eyebrows. Did you guys see this? Okay. I'm a real estate agent. So, okay, what is everybody's message right now on social media? Right? You guys have seen it. You're friends with agents. You've probably seen mine. Just sold, everything's selling, the market is fire, right? The market is fire. I'm always like, what does that mean? And then, okay, so I have a marketing person, her name's Heather, she's brilliant. And then I see an ad come out from us that says the market is fire, and I said it, and I was like, no. I was like, douse water on that, we're not doing. The minute you start to sound like everybody else, you're white noise. The minute you sound like everybody else, you're white noise. Stop it. Do something new, original, different. Stop. Do not be the market is fire person. Okay? You're behind the times if that's the case, because we're shifting. We're going into a buyer's market, guys. The day the election hits, the next day interest rates are going to go up. They did in 2016. I don't know why they wouldn't now. Our economy and our country has to do it. And maybe I'm wrong. Nobody has a crystal ball, but like, might I be right? Might we flood in the spring? Who didn't move this year? Who should have moved? Right? So when we stop wearing masks and the election happens and our interest rates go up, what's happening next year? Who needed to move this year? 3,000 people needed to move this year and didn't. So what is going to happen come February of 2021, March 2021? Especially if schools are back in, all the schools are back in, what's going to happen? Everyone's going to put their house for sale. What does that mean? Flooded market, supply and demand. So when you have a lot of something, what happens to prices? They go down, right? Is that coming? We're overdue. Market shifts every 10 years. We are overdue. 28. Yeah, well, once this election happens, it doesn't matter which way it goes. They have to make changes. We cannot sustain this. 2.7 is not sustainable for our country.
You don't see us going negative.
I don't know. I hope not.
Most of the other countries.
I hope not. I hope not, because that's going to do a lot for we will have to shift and change constitutionally. It's going to be crazy, guys. We're in for a while, right? Maybe I'm wrong. But what if I'm right? You know, what if I'm right? A buyer can get 2.7 today and sell their house in multiple offers tomorrow. Is that negative for them? Is that a negative experience? No, that's positive. So maybe I'm wrong come February and everything is different. But could I put somebody in a really good loan right now and or make them a lot of money on their house? Could I do that right now? Yes. Market of the moment, but you always have to be future thinking. You have to read the news. You have to think about what's going to happen. You have to think about what you think is going to happen. We might have different opinions, and that's okay. We have a different database. We have different clients that trust us, that think we're right. And even if we're wrong, I'll tell everybody and say, well, I was wrong. Shoot. Right? So you have to know what your messaging is. You have to know what's happening. Because even though you've never sold a house, if you sit there and you dwell every day on your lack of experience, you will never sell anything. If you dwell every day on what the market looks like and you don't sound like all the other agents and you're fresh and you're smart and you're spewing a really good message, might people want to talk to you? What does the market is fire even mean? Like, seriously, the market's on fire. What does that mean? Define that. You be the person that defines that. Hey guys, I know that you're seeing everyone saying the market's on fire. What does that mean? This is what I think. This is what we're seeing. Here's some statistics. Here's some data. And here's some black and white. Here's the research and the evidence that I have to tell you what this really means. I'm already more interested in you already, just as a consumer. So that's a tangent. However, I think it's important that you are marketing yourself in a really cool way, because you'll get really cool people that come find you. Okay. I feel like I'm a little rambly today, and I'm so sorry. So let's talk about belly to belly and getting started. Because I think as a new agent, you're gonna have to start picking and choosing on the prospecting side of the market. We talked a lot about marketing, right? Start with reviews, call everybody you know, get your mom to write you a Google review, right? Jennifer, it's just wonderful. Nobody's gonna, from Deanna R. They don't need to know her last name is Rush. You know what I'm saying? Right? So we've talked a lot about that. You already have some homework assignments here that are gonna get you in business. You already know you're not gonna sound like everybody else. Go do your market research, right? Know who your target audiences are. Know what call lists that you want to make. So let's talk about getting in front of people as a real estate agent, because now you've graduated, right? By graduated, I mean you're licensed. Now you're licensed. There's like no pomp and circumstance. They hand you a piece of paper and they're like, go pay the state money. So you have your real estate license, you have your MLS, you're part of Keller Williams, you're in this class. What do you go physically do tomorrow? What are some things that you could physically do as a real estate agent? Make calls, right? What else? Physically, how do you get in front of people? Open house. Boom. Door to door. Yep. Right? Yep. These are all right. You're going to just have to decide what you're going to do. But you got to go get in front of people. It doesn't matter. This is a job duty. You have to go get in front of people. You can hide behind your computer all the time, but the minute you have to go start showing houses and start talking intelligently face to face as a real estate agent, you're going to feel weird. But what if you went and you did that at open houses with complete strangers 4 times in one weekend, right? So Max Vrana is on my team. He is amazing. I just adore him. He will go sit in he'll work at open houses. He'll go hold a vacant house open like noon to 5, 2 days, like Thursday and Friday. He'll just go work there. He'll just take his computer, go to a vacant house, put the open house signs out, which how do people find open houses? They drive by or starts with a Z and ends in an illo. Right? So when you put it online and you put the signs out, you're either going to get drive-bys or you're going to get people who see it and they show up. Either way, you're going to get what? Human bodies through the front door. And you're going to be there. And if you're nervous about doing an open house alone, get a buddy to come with you. Be safe about it. Right? Like if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know, like things happen to real estate agents at open houses. Okay, so pick a really well-populated area. This is also brilliant. Knock on the neighbor's doors and say, hey, I'm holding the house open. I just wanted to know for my safety if you're going to be home. And if for some reason something were to happen, can I come over here? Okay, I know that sounds crazy, right? But what just happened? 1, you insulated yourself for safety. 2, you introduced yourself. And then what do? At the end of every conversation, you learned it today, what do?
You know anybody who needs to buy?
Oh, by the way, you have a beautiful home. How long have you lived in the neighborhood? What do you love about the neighborhood? When might you be moving again? But what was your reason for knocking on the door? Do you sound like every other real estate agent that knocks on the door? There's a little bit of nugget in there. You got to sound different. You got to do different. You got to pattern interrupt in the very beginning. It's the key with FSBOs and expireds too. We'll have a whole other class on that. If you want to put your boots on and get told no a lot, there's your ticket. But I'm going to tell you, they're the fastest way to business. The fastest listing you'll ever get as a for sale by owner. Fastest. Fastest. Met one last night, signs in the yard. Fastest. But you got to get ready for it. You got to be ready. You can't sound like everybody else or they'll hang up on you. They're better scripted than we are. They practice 100 times a day. Yeah. So I would not suggest starting there. If you want listings, and your hair's on fire, come hang out with me because they're a good time. Okay. So where was I at? Oh, getting in front of people. Right. So maybe knock on some doors. Hey, can I put my open house directional in your yard? On the corner here, my open house is down here. Is it okay if I stick it here? Oh, by the way, you have a beautiful yard. Do you do that yourself or who do you use? Because I'm always forever getting questions about who's the guy that, I need a yard mowed and who do you use? Do you love him? How much does he charge you? Could I write that down? Awesome. And then what? What do you love about the neighborhood? How long have you lived here? When might you be moving? Right? You need a reason that doesn't sound like I'm trying to sell you, and then you end the conversation with, hey, so who's the real estate agent that's going to help you move next time you move, right? Every time. Prospecting. So, yeah, if you're afraid of an open house, get a buddy. Buddy up. Do it. Don't be scared. Do it. Because in the doing it's fake until you make it a little bit at open houses, I think. And I'll give you a really good open house script. I know we're like off charts here, but do you guys want a really good open house script? Okay. Hi, thanks for coming. Oh, by the way, so at open houses, I am like a hawk at the front window. So the minute I see somebody pull up, I open the door and I'm like, right? And I'm like, do you need help? Let me get the door. Oh my gosh, the kids are so cute. Oh my God, I'm so happy you're here. Because, okay, think about it the other way. You come to an open house, you pull up to the house, you get out of your car. The house is there. What do? You just walk into somebody else's house through the front door? What do you automatically feel when you're walking in that door? Do you? If you just pull up and there's an open house sign and the door is closed.
Oh, knock.
The door is closed and I am the buyer and I'm like, and maybe this is the first open house I've ever gone to. Right? What do you do as a buyer? You're like, do we go in? Do we ring the bell? Like what? I've had people like ring the doorbell. Okay, so then how awkward is that? Oh, hi, I'm Jennifer. I'm the real estate agent here with the, I don't live here. I just opened it, but come in, right? Okay, so who feels awkward?
Everyone.
Imagine yourself pulling up to the house and this crazy lady in an adult onesie wearing earrings made by her sister from Florida opens the door and is like, hey, oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for coming. I'm an extrovert by myself in there. Get in here, right? Get in my world. Okay, it's really not that crazy, but that's the attitude. I'm so happy to see you. Thank you for coming. Please come in. Thanks for being here today. I appreciate you so much. Did you see the signs or did you see it online? Okay, that's my very first question. What does that tell you? Did you see the signs or did you see it online?
If they saw the signs, they probably live around that area.
Yep. You know who my very favorite open house guests are? Neighbors. Every time I hold an open house, I'm like, please God, send the neighbors. Because why are they there? They're nosy and they're comparing that house to their house. Oh, they did those floors. I've always wanted to see what the inside of this looked like because I've always been like stalking their cars and their kids and like comparing myself to the Joneses. Oh, that was a terrible choice of countertop. But okay, so there's that. Okay, yes, 100%. And how many of you go to open houses for fun? She's like, I do. But what are you doing the whole time?
I do.
But what are you doing the whole time you're there? You're looking at their stuff and you're looking at the house because you're either a secret real estate agent, way to come out of the closet, secret real estate agent. You're an HGTV junkie, which makes you a secret real estate agent. Or, right, do you need to sell the house? So when someone says, I saw the signs, I say, oh, because you live in the neighborhood and you need to sell? I mean, I just say it. And then they're like, oh, no, I just love coming to open houses. Oh, so you're a secret real estate agent? When are you going to get licensed? If you have a comeback for everything and you make people feel comfortable, they will talk to you and they will tell you everything. They will like you. Their sister could be a real estate agent and they will like you. And that's all you need. They may never use you for business, but if they like you, that's all you need, right? Okay, so did you see the signs or did you see this online? I saw you online. Oh, fantastic. So you picked this house to come to today. You must really like it. Are you ready to buy it? We could write the offer on the kitchen counter. And people are like, oh my gosh, no. Like, oh, right, because you would look at it with your agent if you were ready to buy it then, right? Who's your agent? My agent's Jennifer Rush. Have fun, look around. Bye. See you later. Locked up. Oh, I have an agent. Oh, who is it? Sally met her in an open house a couple weeks ago. She's been sending me emails. Have you sat down and had a consultation with your agent and decided to hire her as your agent and commit to that agent to help you buy a house? Or are you still shopping around for interviews to make sure you get the best one? Yeah, right? Totally. So did you guys sit down in a consultation, go out through everything she's gonna do for you, and then you signed an agreement saying she's your agent, you're committed to her, or are you still looking for people to interview to make sure you get the best one? I save all of my buyers time and money, and I would love to interview if you're open to that idea. Just give me your info, we can set it up later. You don't have to do it right there. And most people are gonna be like, but if they like you, you made them feel welcome, you asked them questions, you talked with them, they love your energy, you love, because you're gonna attract people to you that are like you. You're not gonna attract someone that you're gonna have a hard time working with because they're not gonna like you. That's okay, just accept it. 9 out of 10 people are probably not your people. Don't be hurt about it. Who cares? You're not gonna win them all. You don't want to win them all. Trust me, I tried that my first year. There are checks I wanted to give back at closing. Like, I am so far in the red, you may as well just keep it because I don't even want to take your money. I'm never talking to you again. And then I've learned I don't have to work with everyone. I can work with the people I want to, who are going to be great clients and raving fans and send me their brothers and sisters and dog walkers. Like, you pick the people and they pick you back, and be okay with it. It's like dating. You don't want to date everybody. You don't want everybody as a client. So just be all right with that. But those are some scripts and those are some asks at open houses that are really important. It's not sign in here, let me get all your information and chase you down for 3 months. It's who's the real estate agent you're working with? Oh, you don't have one? Are you interviewing? Because I'd love to sit down for an interview and see if we'd be a good fit together so I can save you time and money. Is that something you might be interested in? So then that way, when you get their information and you call them, you're doing what? You're setting a consultation. You're not chasing people down, skirting around the issue of will they hire you or not. You do it right up front. I like to save time, so that works for me. But open houses are fantastic. If you get scared, get a friend. What about door knocking? I gave you guys some door knocking tips. Hey, I'm doing an open house just from a safety standpoint. I plan to park on the street. I have a black little Tucson. It'll be out front. That's my car. And if for some reason I feel uncomfortable and I need to bolt, would it be okay if I came and knocked on your door just so I can be around somebody really quick? Would that be okay? Oh, it's a safe neighborhood. I mean, I know it's a safe neighborhood. I'm just saying, Speaking of the neighborhood, what do you love about it? I love that door knocking script because it kills so many birds with so many stones because you have an open house, you have a reason to knock, you don't sound like everybody else, you start the conversation. By the end of it, you could say, you know, it looks like your house is beautiful. It might be the same floor plan. Have you ever been in that one? No? Go ahead.
Where is that script?
In my head. Yeah, I just make this stuff up. Totally. But you could if you go online, you go to KW Connect, you Google open house scripting, Keller Williams has so many scripts. You can get them, you can read them, you can practice them. You still have to make it your own. You still have to make it yours. Like, who are you as a person? Is it going to sound weird for you to say the thing? And if it does sound weird, what's the intention of the sentence and can you change it and still get the same outcome? Don't lose the intention of the script, even if you shift and change a few words. Like, Stacy's a lot like me. We're both really like these huge high eyes, which are like these people who are spastic. And so like a script that's like very stuffy and black and white will not fit her personality. And someone who is that personality will likely not work well with Stacy. She doesn't want to work with them either. You know, you've got to find your people. So scripts are so good. Read them, internalize them, and think about what your intention is. Do the intention, but shift and change it to sound like you. And I'm okay with that. There's a lot of people out there like read it word for word. I don't disagree. However, you have to sound like yourself. You have to. Because you don't want the word for word script client. You want your client, you know? Okay, so that's a lot about marketing and prospecting. Do you guys have any questions about the difference between the two? Because this is deep dive into methods. We talked about door knocking. We talked about referrals, open houses, social media. Here's door knocking, agent to agent referrals. We discussed that. Focus on one city. Go find 5 agents. Call them, make a connection, stay in touch, right? What else? Send and receiving referrals. So there is a process for that. The main thing is that you have the connection with people, and there's a paperwork, there's a piece of paperwork that has to be signed when you send a referral. I'm not good with paperwork. We're not going to talk about that. Open houses, we just talked about. Prospecting, add contacts, follow up, stay top of mind. Do you guys, are you all using Command yet? Are you using you're not in Command yet? So Command is the Keller Williams database. And I can actually log in and show it to you, but let me check. So you can add contacts, add tags, add to Cultivate, and add to a smart plan. Better yet, take Tiffany's classes on Command. She teaches classes on Command. You do not want to learn Command from me. You guys saw how I used Gmail. So like that would be an indicator as to how good I would be at teaching that class. Social media, you guys, we've talked about all of this. I know I didn't do a great job following the material. But do you see how we've discussed this all? Open houses, social media, prospecting based, marketing enhanced. We talked about that. Prospecting is what? Profit. Prospecting is profit. Marketing costs money unless you're doing it for free online. Deep dive into your plan. Okay, so I think the last thing, because we're about out of time, the last thing I want to discuss, develop a prospecting plan. Perfect. You have to know when you are doing this. If you, first of all, you have to be prospecting all the time, right? I come to this Walmart because it's next to my office. I'm a real estate agent, right? So anytime you run into a stranger and you have a talk, oh, I chew Mentos gum because I'm a real estate agent. I like my breath to be fresh. Like, whatever your conversation is about, you have to drop, well, I'm a realtor, so obviously I buy shoes. Right? I mean, just whatever. Whatever your conversation about with a new person is, you're going to link it to the fact that you sell real estate. 1. 2, you have to be purposeful about making your phone calls, doing your open houses, doing your door knocking, the doing. If you just sit around and wait for your phone to ring, you will not get to the Millionaires Club. It will not happen. You have to do stuff. I love the phone. I'm a chatterbox. You may not be a chatterbox. You may choose a different method. However, you have to do things to meet people, to talk about real estate, and you have to go be an agent. You have to go to the open houses. You have to do door knocking, or at the very least, if you're not going to do any of that, you have to call the 2,000 people on your phone and say, hey, let's have coffee. That's a lot of coffee, but that might be your method. I don't care what your method is. I care about you doing stuff. So if you find yourself sitting at home waiting for your phone to ring, or you have a pipe dream of selling homes, but you don't have any clients, I would encourage you to look at your calendar and decide what days and what times of those days am I going to do something. So for me, today at 10 a.m., I'm teaching a class. I love to teach. I love it. It fills me up. It makes my heart swell. I have winning others over in my top 5 on my strength finder, and that's probably where that comes from. I love to help people. Love it, love it, love it. I want you to be happy, and I want you to be rich, and I want you to tag me when you are. That says, Jennifer's prospecting class was the first step for me to making $1 million, and then I can be like my crowning achievement, right? And then maybe buy me some coffee. Seriously, I don't care what you do. You have to do what makes sense to you, but you have to do something. Maybe have a Norwex party or a Pampered Chef party, right? Maybe do something if that's your thing. Maybe you love crafting and you host a craft night. I don't care what you do. You have to do something. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is a thing that no one gets. This is the difference between someone who leaves the business and somebody who's in Gary Keller's top 100. And you want to know what the difference is? A lot of days and hours from day 1 in real estate until making it into that room, they did a bunch of stuff. They had a lot of conversations. They went to a lot of open houses. They knocked a lot of doors. They picked the phone up. They've drank gallons of coffee. They've had tons of overpriced salads at lunch. And they've asked every single person with a pulse when the next time is they're going to move, who in their family needs to move, and do you know anyone who needs a great real estate agent? They did a lot. They talked a lot. They asked a lot. And then when they got yeses, so you're gonna get a yes, and you're gonna get people's information, and then what do? Stick it, you take a command class immediately, you learn how to use command, you get those people into command, and you stay in touch with them over time. Larry and June Pate live in Shawnee, Oklahoma, in a brand new home, and I met him August 1st of 2016. This is real. Those are real people. They have a dog. Her name is Stella. They have a daughter. They homeschool. They have trees in their backyard. They are adorable. I talked to them for 4 years.
So like, at what point are you like, okay, this is like is it a time race? Is this hitting off?
I love them. I would still talk to them.
Do you ever look at dog hour? That's fine.
If I get one yes out of 20 phone calls, I made $5,000. If they were one of the 20 phone calls, were they a waste of my time?
Well, I mean, if
You know what I mean?
talk to them for 6 touches a year.
If they, I think what your question is, when do I drop someone? And I think the answer is, if you don't like them or you don't think they're for you. If they're not your flavor ice cream, then probably let them go. If you love that if that person's awesome as a human being, I would keep them in your world forever. Because even if they're a serial renter and you have a great relationship with them, might they send you other people? Even if they have terrible credit, even if they never, ever, 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 ever get off the horse, right, and do the thing they say they're going to do, which is work on their credit, and right? Could you have a great relationship with that person? And every time you talk to them, what are you saying? When might you be moving? Who do you know in your family or your friends who needs a great agent? Could you meet people through that person? Do they take your phone calls? Are they happy to talk to you? Do you like them? Keep them. If they suck your energy when you call them, don't call them anymore. Your energy is too important.
I guess I asked that because I know one agent that's actually in this office that showed my So like that's my biggest fear. And obviously after you do take her so home, it's like I'm investing this long.
Right. So okay.
You're wasting time. You're wasting
Yep. And I would say, did they sit down and have a consultation before they went and looked at houses? Did they have a consultation and vet that buyer prior to opening a front door? That's a whole nother class, and it's in this series, and it's about buyers. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not go show buyers homes unless we sit down in this office. Or maybe, Zoom, right? Zoom. But yeah, I do not show houses until I sit down and I vet them hard.
Yeah. Okay, so I know how I personally feel, strictly related to cold calling type stuff. I know how I personally feel when I get a phone call from a solicitor, when someone knocks on my door, I'm not expecting realtor, bug sprayer, or whatever. I know how I feel about that. And that's the last way that I want anyone that I'm trying to bring into my life to feel.
Right.
How do you personally feel? Like, I know that some tactics work on other people, not others. For you personally, you seem to be successful with cold calling.
Sure.
How do you feel when you get solicitations like that?
I don't call it cold calling, and every time I get cold called, I hope they knock it out of the park, and when they don't, I'm disappointed. And I tell them that on the phone.
So you don't feel violated when people call you?
Unless they are scripted and they sound like they hate their life, and I say, do you like your job? You should get into real estate. If you're willing to call people every single day and get told no 20 times, you should go get your real estate license and make more money for what you're doing. And if you need the phone number on how to do that or help, find me on Facebook. My name's Jennifer Rush, and PM me, and I'll tell you how to get in the business. Because every conversation is a what? An opportunity. Every conversation is a lead. I love getting cold called, especially when they're like in Singapore. You should get into real estate. We're worldwide. There's a Keller Williams office near you. Thanks for coming. You guys, I am going to do such a better job reading the material, so next time we can actually follow the book. We'll have less technical difficulties because I'll understand that we have to log in first. So Thursday is going to be so much more successful. Did you get some good stuff today?
Yeah.
It's maybe not in the book, but I'm gonna tell you, man, if you do half of what I told you to do today, you will be calling me in 30 days, closing business. I guarantee it, without a doubt. And I'll be excited. And when you close your first deal, I want you to tag me on Facebook. I'm serious, it fills my heart. I love it. Jennifer helped me with this thing and I did it and then I closed business. I love it. It makes me so happy. And Facebook is like my new diary, right? Because of the time hop. So like you could tag me next month and then in September of 2021, time hop will tell me that was your first deal. And then I'll call you and say, congratulations, Tina, it's your first deal anniversary, because Facebook logs my entire life for me and I don't have to do it. I actually really like that. That's it, guys. I'll see you Thursday. I'll read the chapter, I'll know the stuff, and we will do a little bit of a more streamlined start off. You're welcome.
Thank you,
Bye,
Jennifer.
Zoomers.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Zoomers. I didn't really get to know you today or chat with you, but you can friend me on Facebook and PM me and let me know how this class was and let me know what questions you have, okay?
Awesome.
I feel like I really ignored you and I'm sorry. So send me,
Thank you for teaching
your
classes.
questions or your comments. On
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I gotta meet you in person.
I know.
You're so awesome.
Thank you.
And then after the class, Stacy called me and she's like,